Hmm. Good night, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Sajibal, and today, as the title says, I'm gonna be studying popular YouTube tutorials. By popular, I mean like currently popular on the YouTube algorithm. So what I did was basically type in how to draw legs. That's all I did. And I chose the first one that showed up. That's what I currently have on my little screen below my art. I don't think that it's gonna be like too problematic because I don't normally use that lower part of the screen. Like if I move my art down there, it's gonna obscure a little bit of the screen, but it should be fine since I'm usually drawing like around this area, like here. So I think that it shouldn't be much of an issue. I'm currently looking at my stream to see how it looks. Yeah, it's fine. Right, so the first one that showed up, it's called, one second, Drawing Leg Tips and Tricks, Simplified Look at Legs by Zachariah. Zachariah? It's the first one that showed up. It was uploaded 1 year ago. Has 51,000 views and 3k likes. I'm gonna leave a like. And all the tutorials that I watched tonight are gonna be left in the description. Just to be fair, like I'm using their tutorials for content. The idea with this stream and with basically everything that I'm doing, like all this, what you call it, like the study week, is that I eventually want to like make a little video or make like a documentation of my journey trying to learn art as someone who has a little bit of experience like drawing and creating art, but hasn't like reached an advanced level. Like, right, like I have been always gravitating towards like beginner and, you know, experienced, but not quite professional, not quite advanced, not quite knowledgeable enough to create art consistently. So that's what I want to achieve. And one of the ideas I had was just like, give me 1 second. I have a, yep, it should be fine. Yeah. One of the ideas I had before starting to stream was maybe I could like look at popular YouTube videos, like popular tutorials, and try to learn from them and try to evaluate them and try to, you know, give, I guess, a little bit of a transformative opinion on them, see what I learned, what I liked, what I didn't like. And the idea of that is kind of give myself an idea or give myself an impression of how much can you learn on YouTube for free. That may not always be the case because, well, as I have expressed in past streams, I have a lot of books. I have bought a lot of books in my life. I have a full-time job and I spend a lot of my own money on books. It's kind of a hobby at this point, or the thing where buying books it's a completely different hobby than actually reading the book. Like, right, like this is completely different. I buy books and at the moment I have 2 books that I have not taken the plastic off of because I cannot pass them. It's like an addiction. I have held off in the past months. The last book I got, well, no, I actually got a book this month and I shipped it all the way from Japan. It came surprisingly intact, right? Like they shipped it with no like protective plastic or anything, and it just came in perfectly. I don't know, it was like a miracle. But yeah, let's stop stalling. So we're gonna be watching this video by Zachariah. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna assume it's Sakurai, where he is gonna explain his out view on how to draw legs. Before anything, let me grab my quick sketching brush. Yeah, and let's begin. I think it should be showing up. Yep. I'm gonna try to draw like towards this side of the screen, just so it's not that obscured by the little picture-in-picture that I have. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, I'm gonna try to draw around this area. Right, let's go. So let's begin. I hope the audio is fine. I did like a little test and it sounded fine, but we'll see.
If you're anything like me, you've avoided drawing legs at all costs.
Yep.
But in the last little bit, I've really sat down and tried to understand the structure and anatomy of the legs. And in this video, I'm gonna go over what I learned and what I found and how I break it down.
So immediately what I'm seeing is that he is doing a very simplified version of what we learned last stream, which was last night. Right? He's condensing all those little muscles and tendons that we saw in very, very, very big groups. So like, instead of detailing like the sartorius and I forget the names already, but the big like quadricep muscles and all this thing going on here, he's grouping them in the main, like, most landmark defining groups and going with that. I don't think that I'm like capturing the mouse. I'm going over the screen. I should probably do that. 1 second. Yeah, I think that's better because I can like go over with the mouse like this and explain, like point towards what I'm seeing. Is that working? Not really. No, I don't think it is. Okay, no, let's forget about that. Let's not capture my cursor because the window is so much bigger on my screen and it's not that big on the stream on the stream. Like whatever I show the mouse on, it's not gonna show up on stream. That's what I'm seeing. So let's forget about that. Oh, but I did a little tweak to my avatar. It's not tweaking as much anymore. It's still like jitters sometimes, especially when I say words that are not like that are like very interrupted. So like ferro, carril, something like that. It still jitters a little bit, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was last night. So I still want to do some other tweaks to it. I think that I'm gonna just give it like a neutral expression with the open mouth and a blinking expression, so that I'll work on it this weekend. I think that's my weekend project. But yeah, let's begin. Okay, let's go.
Simply. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Zach, a concept artist with a specialty in characters, and this channel is kind of a look into my personal journey while I try to use my shortcomings and my successes to try to help you through your own art journey. Let's get into it. So I'm just quickly drawing out some legs to use as a mannequin. For me, I like to keep it loose and gestural. With my other anatomy simplified videos, I usually like showing some structure first, but I think it's just going to complicate things, and the structure is pretty basic, so we're going to go into anatomy first. Firstly, we have the quads in.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit, and let's just try to replicate this structure he's placing here, just so that we can have like we can follow along to whatever he does. So he's just establishing like a very quick and easy torso here. But it's not. He's bearing like very loose with it, like as he said. So it's fine. This part I'm gonna probably struggle a little bit. This is pretty much what I'm trying to learn. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, mine starts looking like a little bit like chicken legs. Right, so he establishes the knee there. Right. Something like this. I'm not trying to be like super exact, because like the main thing is trying to learn, right? It's not to copy exactly what he's doing, it's just understanding the concepts and ideas that he's gonna express. But yeah, I guess it should help to be as accurate as possible. Just that I don't run into problems of like trying to, what you call it, like if he does something that I don't understand, like that I can't follow along because the model I built doesn't correspond to what he's doing. For example, I think I'm already seeing a problem here. He has like much more of a straight line here. I think that the difference between his and mine is that mine is like pushed forward quite a bit. So if I move it like towards here, it should line up better. Right, something like that. There we go. Something like that, yeah. This looks thicker.
Pretty basic, so we're gonna go into anatomy first. Firstly, we have the quads in red. If you look at a very developed tricep muscle, it's actually pretty similar to the quad. This helps me to remember how the quad looks and functions, because it works in the same way as with the tricep, to extend the leg. This is why the flexed position for the leg is when the calf is kicked out. In blue, the hamstrings are peeking through, but not quite fully showing. The hamstrings are on the back of the upper leg, just below the glutes and just above the calves.
Yeah, so like I was saying before, he is using a very simplified version. Not simplified, like he's still placing all the muscles that we saw last night, but he's grouping them together in a way that allows him to memorize like the structure in a more easy way, instead of memorizing like 700 different micro muscles and tendons and like areas. It's more like grouping them in this manner. Right, like that, like that. Wonder what's better for the stream. I wish I had someone viewing so that they could tell me if it's better to like let it run for a bit and then go back and redo it. I guess we should watch the whole tutorial and then try to watch it and then try to follow along, just so that we can understand the whole concept before, instead of like pausing every few minutes. I'm just gonna let it play. It's only 8 minutes long, it should be fine.
I'm definitely going to go more in depth about the hamstrings later on during some examples when we get to see more of the back view, so stick around for that.
Okay.
Then we've got the calves in green. They're just this kind of weird diamond shape, again very similar in shape to the triceps. And by the way, when I say calves, I'm referring to the muscle on the back of the calves.
Okay.
And then moving into the rest of the lower leg, it's in purple. The way I like to think of the rest of the lower leg is it's just an amalgamation of bony and tendony bits. This is why the kneecap and the front of your shin is super hard. It's because your body doesn't put much muscle or fat on that part of the body. I don't have extensive knowledge on all the muscles in the lower leg and all the technical names and stuff like that. It's a very complicated thing, which is why I like to simplify these complicated subjects.
Not great.
That all being said, think of the lower leg being a pretty thin, bony limb, similar to the forearm, with the main muscle component being the muscle on the back of the calf, colored green for the video. And then we've got a similar situation to the hamstrings. The glutes are kind of peeking out from behind. I'll go more in depth on the glutes later.
I don't think I drew glutes on mine.
So for the next chapter of the video, I'm actually going to go into studying some real life examples.
Okay.
Getting into it, I'm just going to be jumping between different body parts.
Alright, I should
Something
probably find some reference.
I want you guys to take note of is the position of the joints, so meaning if the lower leg is bent or not, if the knee is bent or not, and how the muscles are affected based on that. So with the top left example, because his knee is really bent, his hamstrings are going to be super bundled up, very similar to a bicep. And actually same with the lower left example.
Okay.
The lower right example, his leg is fully
I'm gonna have to
straight,
repeat this
so
part
his
because I didn't
quads are
understand
being
what he said
bundled
about
up instead of his hamstrings.
the hamstring there. Interesting.
Another thing I want to point out is something I didn't talk about yet is the hip flexors. With the top left example, his hip flexors are very, very defined, and so I felt like it was very necessary to point them out. They're a part of the legs, but I feel like once I start getting into the hips, it gets to be a lot more complicated, so I'm going to save that for another video.
Oh, okay. So we're starting the whole
Another thing
lower
I want to
body
point out is
in one
with
go.
the top right girl, she's squatting down, and so her knee is as bent as it possibly could be, and so her quads, her hamstrings, and her calf muscle are all bundling up. I also should have mentioned this before, but those lines that I'm drawing around the contour of the body, those are basically a cheap way to show the curvature of the legs.
I
would really suggest that you guys go and do this yourselves. Maybe go to Pinterest or Google, find some examples of some people posing in different positions, and take note of the way that the muscle forms and deforms based on the position of where it's at. Now that you guys understand the underlying structure of the leg, and you understand how that's applied in real life examples, let's do some master studies and see how other artists simplify anatomy. So I'm just going to quickly lower the opacity and do a quick overdrawing to lay the foundation for the study. Firstly, we're going to take a look at the glutes. Something I took note of and I think is kind of a useful way to look at the glutes is it's not just this weird random lump of mass, it's actually like the delt, inserting at the base of the back and the bottom outer side of the leg. The reason it sometimes kind of just looks like a weird lump of mass is because the human body tends to put a lot of body fat onto the legs, hips, and butt. And so because of this, that whole area is often defined by each person's particular DNA or genetics. This isn't always the case with arms, and so I think arms are a lot more predictable, whereas legs are kind of harder to understand. So if we're looking at these examples, it's actually quite predictable because all of them are similar body types and their butt is actually quite defined. Now moving on to the quads, it's more of the same of what you've seen so far. This structure is actually quite important to understand because if you're drawing characters, oftentimes the biggest part of the leg that you're going to be showing is the quads because most of the time you're looking at the characters from the front, and the quads are the most dominant muscle from the front. Something you can notice from the bottom left image is the quad muscle kind of wraps around the upper part of the kneecap. This is going to be a lot more prominent in more muscular people. Moving on to the hamstrings, again, they're kind of like the biceps of the leg. They're what bring your foot to your butt, almost like when you bring your hand to your shoulder. This should be kept in mind when thinking about drawing the leg in dynamic positions. You can try this yourself. Try flexing your bicep, and then stand up and try flexing your hamstring. It's actually a very similar function. And if you actually stand up and look in a mirror, you can probably see the parallels of the leg and the arm. And I think if you understand the arm, you can start to begin to understand the leg. If you don't understand the arm yet, check out this video, I'll put it on the screen. For the lower leg, in general, unless the subject is extremely muscularly developed or very lean, the calves won't be very defined. Here's an example of a really jacked calf and what most people's calves look like. However, it is still very good to know how the calf muscle looks and functions. And again, if you look at a very developed tricep, it looks very similar to a calf muscle. Same for the quads. So now we've done artist studies, we've done real life studies, and we've broken down the anatomy in general. So now I'm going to quickly do some of my own drawings, and at the end, I'm going to apply my anatomical breakdowns to kind of show what's going through my mind when I draw these drawings. Real quick, I just want to say I'm no master of leg anatomy or anatomy in general. These are just my findings so far and the way that I break down leg anatomy to be able to somewhat understand this shit. And feel free to draw along with me. Keep it loose and gestural, don't feel too much pressure about drawing it. I think, in my case, In the past, I've felt a lot of anxiety drawing things that I don't know much about, especially if it's super out of my comfort zone. And I think that's even the reason why I've taken a long time to make this video, is because I've just felt a lot less comfortable drawing legs, which is why I took my time to really try to understand it at least a little bit more. So I hope you're really just trying to have fun with it and just really try to explore the way that you like to do certain shapes. My drawings are not going to look exactly the same as any of the artists that I studied in this video, nor do I want them to. And that's obviously no knock on them. I think every artist should just aspire to have their own way of drawing certain things, and so embrace that. Try to understand the underlying structure, and then break the rules and see what you like. Here's an example of a way of drawing legs that I usually don't do. This is a lot more of like an anime style where the legs are a lot more thin or undefined. Although I really do like the way that the shapes have turned out, and a couple of things that I do feel like I've left out of this video are the hips and the feet. Those are beasts of their own, so I may make a video in the future on those. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, I don't want to.
And here are the anatomy breakdowns on my own drawings. I'm not literally thinking of these colors in my head while I'm drawing, but I am thinking of this underlying structure every time I draw legs. I hope this breakdown made sense, and if this helps you understand legs a little bit more, my other anatomy simplified videos might help as well. I'll put the whole playlist on screen right now. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Yeah, so that's a very clean way of thinking things. Like I said at the beginning, he is grouping the major muscle groups of the body into of the lower body into big groups. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it and try to follow along. I'm not gonna do the master study. Oh god, wait. I'm not gonna do the master study part because. Oh, give me 1 second. That's. Is he chill? Oh, no, he's not chill. Is he triggering my mic? I don't think he is. I have 2 very noisy dogs, so that's gonna be a constant in my stream, even if I ever get a better mic. Yeah, like I said, like I was saying, sorry, I am gonna try to follow along, but not really try to 1 second. This is. Hey, John, what's up? Fresco, puedes hablar español. No tengo ningún problema en responder en español. Le quité un toque de delay al stream. Ya debería ser un toque más fácil ver el chat en tiempo real. Sí, güey. Sí, me di cuenta que no era tan complicado como yo pensaba. O sea, yo estaba tratando de mover el bitrate y de mover un poco de vueltas, pero no fue tan complicado. Bueno, ahorita lo que estaba haciendo es, como dice el título, estaba explicando... Dale, men, dale, de una. Ahorita lo que estoy haciendo es estudiando tutoriales de YouTube, tutoriales de gente que haya subido cosas. Lo que hice fue poner en YouTube, literal, cómo dibujar... Ah, espérate que mi perro se enloqueció, güey. Dame un momentico. Sí, pues en YouTube como cómo dibujar piernas, y tutorial que salió, el primero que salió, ese fue el que encontré. Estoy viendo un video de este man que se llama Zakaria, y el man lo que hace es simplemente todo lo que estudié ayer en el... bueno, menos mal no se escucha el perro, pero... Es como que pensé que se escuchaba porque estaba justo al lado de mi ventana. Sí, todo lo que estudiamos ayer, que eran como 48.000 músculos, el man los agrupa en estos grupos súper sencillos. Así como cuádriceps, hamstring. Hamstring es que como... En español, ¿cómo se dice? bueno, no recuerdo, la parte de atrás del pie, de la pierna. Cuádriceps, hamstring, pantorrilla y el hueso. Ya lo parten en 4 grupos como principales. No sé, creo que ayer no estuviste, pero vení te muestro lo que hicimos ayer. No, este es mi thumbnail. ¿Fue este? Sí. Re bien. Sí, ayer hicimos esto, weón. Ayer estudiamos toda la anatomía completa de la pierna. Pues como puedes ver, son 58.500 músculos, weón, con nombres rarísimos. Sí, mi favorito es... ¿Cómo se llama esta vuelta? Se me olvidó el... Ni siquiera lo quise escribir porque era un nombre extrañísimo. Pero... Ayer estudiamos todo esto. Pero si ves, o sea, el malo que está haciendo es tomar toda esta cantidad de 48.500 músculos con nombres imposibles de memorizarse y simplemente los agrupa en 4 grupos. Entonces, voy a tratar de emular lo que el man hace. Aquí tenemos los hamstrings. No sé cómo mencionar, cómo es. Voy a buscar en español porque... hamstring muscle. No, ayer lo dibujé. Échale ojo al stream cuando puedas. Ahí está el bot. No, ayer estuvimos con Isabela dándole a eso. ¿Cómo lo va a calcar en...? Aparte que estoy estudiando con libros, no tenía cómo calcarlo. Sí. Pero pues, o sea, si te pones a ver... Ay, marica, lo dibujé todo en una sola capa, mucho imbécil. Ups. Pero sí, o sea, lo que hice fue hacer el... Si ves esta línea gris, lo que hice fue hacer como la estructura grande. Sí, mira, como por acá. Y luego ya cuando tenía la silueta hecha fue empezar a llenarla con los músculos. No es tan complicado como parece. O sea, no fui armando músculo por músculo, sino que armé la estructura completa. Y luego ya fui llenándola por dentro como como un rompecabezas. Lo que sí estaba haciendo es que estaba viendo un libro, ¿no? O sea, yo no me sé esto de memoria ni a bala. Tenía el libro abierto y iba mirando el libro, la información. Pero sí, de memoria no dibujo esto ni a bala. Por eso estoy estudiando para aprender cómo carajo funcionan las piernas. Entonces, mira que por acá tiene entonces el hamstring. No tengo ni idea cómo se llama en español. Ah, mira, aquí cometí un error, por ejemplo. Aquí, esta parte no baja hasta acá. Va a dar hasta el... Voy a seguir hablando en inglés, como porque el título del stream está en inglés. Y si llega gente desconocida, quiero que vean el stream en inglés, pero si tienen una pregunta o algo, me decís, te respondo en español. Right, so what I was just saying in Spanish is that I made a mistake here because the quad actually wraps around the knee like this, like it just goes to the sides of the knee, like that, and over here, like around there, and over here, it doesn't come down like that, but like it wraps the knee neatly like that. Right, and here on the lower part, it's just the same colors Sakurai does. He's got like the kneecap. I guess he does it like that, right? He's got another kneecap here. And then he just turns like this whole area into a bony section. Like that. How does he... Okay, yeah, so he... Not only does he turn this into the bony section, this whole part here that is all bone, all tendon, sorry, he also includes it in like this purple section. And let's go like this. And like that. And then with green, he turns everything else into the calf muscle. Like that. And like, how does he? Okay, so he goes like that. He comes all the way down here. I guess he's doing like this little exercise to show how the... Oh wait, I forgot the tendons here. Guess they should be, yeah, around there. It's fine. Okay, so this is very... what you call it? No, it's... Oh, I made a mistake. Wait, am I just turning? Okay. Need to... Wait a second. There we go. Okay, it was just a little bit tilted. So yeah. I think it's, since it's missing the buttocks muscle, it's a little bit unbalanced, but I'll fix it in a second. What I was saying is that he's doing this simulation of the muscle fibers to show like volume. It's not quite so rounded. Right, like something like that. And yeah. Oh, okay, so this part here from below, it's also considered part of the hamstring for him. It's... Right, like that. And let's keep... I remember that he drew the buttocks, so let's see.
Opponent being the muscle on the back of the calf, colored green for the video. And then more in depth on the glutes.
Okay. Yeah, so he grabbed like a yellowish color and drew the glute. Does the glute really come up this high? It's interesting. And he drew a little bit of the glute like that. I'm gonna give it a little bit more glute just to balance it out a little bit. It's going like that. It's going backwards. So yeah, this is like the structural not simplification, like the structural construction that he's doing for himself, where he just groups all these muscles together. The next part that I want to do from his study is the part where he grabbed real life reference and drew these groups over it. So I'm gonna try to do that. I of course don't have the same I don't have the same like reference as him. I'm just gonna very quickly try to grab something from Google. Gonna grab like a ballerina. Should I grab something from Adobe stock? Can I get into trouble for that? Let me just do like Creative Commons. I don't know how these things work. Okay. And what I really wanted is not quite available. Okay, here's one with... Oh, of course, it's pixels. Right, so let's grab this one. Guess a new layer. Oh god, this image is massive. Alright, let's just resize that. I'm gonna grab like 2 images. So this one's from the back. And I could build like, I guess a sprinter. Sprinter? Is that... one that is displaying his or her muscles. I guess this one's fine. Am I still under Creative Commons? Yeah. Let's grab this one. It was fine. Let's resize it a little bit so it's more in line with the other one. Oh god, my screen is so towards the side. I guess since I tend to draw on this side of the screen, I'm just gonna try and be responsible and draw here. I'm like wasting like 80% of my stream space. Right, what I'm gonna do now is just try to define these muscle groups onto these 2 reference pictures that I grabbed. Let's lower the opacity and make another layer. I'm gonna grab the red one. Let's grab like a stronger red. I'm gonna try to find where this muscle group is. I think it's here. Like of course, like it goes without saying that the reason why I'm studying this is because I don't know how to draw this thing. So if I make a mistake, just bear with me. I'll learn. I'll be better eventually. Like this is why I'm doing the things I'm doing. But yeah, I think that the key is to wrap this muscle around the knee, like that. And then from here we can grab the blue color and do the... I wonder if this muscle comes like the glutes come like that or like that. Let me give it a little bit more opacity. Maybe I can see... Oh, wrong one. Maybe I can see how her glutes work. I think they're doing like that, right? Like that. I think that's what her glutes are doing. So we have... Oh, I'm drawing on top of the picture. Wait. Okay. I think that's what they're... Oh, but this mass here... Let me grab another color. This part here... I think that's still the glute. So maybe this glute isn't quite coming down like this. And it's more like... Let me just define the glute. Right, so what I think it's doing, it's that. Right. So how does this part work? Confused. Let me see how Zachariah did it. I think
lower leg is bent or not, if the knee is
had an
bent or not,
example
and
with
how
very well-defined glutes.
left example. I also find some examples. A way to look at the glutes is
right. So what I see here is that the glutes aren't quite like what I'm drawing here. Erase this. So they go up to your lower back. So if the if her spine is coming like this, the glutes would be like here and here ish, and from here we can bring down this muscle mass here. I guess it's more like that and like that. Right, and then it comes down like, I guess, since her buttocks is not as well defined as the male in the reference, I'm struggling a little bit. But it comes this way and then it goes up like that. And then it's like this. Is what I'm seeing. Right? And then this part here. Give me 1 second, please. I think there's a very there's a very low like loud bike going through my window, but nothing that I can do at the moment. Alright, so what I think is that this mass that is confusing me here is part of the glute. And it's just going like that. Like all the way there. And this breakage here is just body, it's just like fat being pressed with her thigh or her leotard, I guess. And this wouldn't be like this. Like this whole shape of her butt cheek is being formed by fat. Her muscle isn't really that way. It should be more like this. And then she has fat sitting on top of it, which gives it that roundness. But let's just go with the shape of the butt for now. I guess I should try to establish the muscle, since that's what the topic we're studying. So what I think it's happening, it's that it's like that, and then it's like that. And same here, it's just like this. Like, maybe it doesn't come. It comes more like this. Nah, this is wrong. It should come down like that. Let's ignore this fat here, and then we go like that and like that. Does that feel right? Not quite. Let's do this. Right, so that's her muscles, ignoring all this body fat here. Well, not like she has a lot, but more like it's giving her quite a beautiful shape, but it's making it harder to know where the muscle is. So now that we have that shape there, let's go back to drawing the... Right, so what I'm seeing is that the hamstring... How does the hamstring connect from the back? Can I reference my own? Right, so the hamstring wraps almost in this manner, like it leaves the backside of the knee open. No, I guess it comes down here and here, right? This is kind of what I'm seeing. Right, like that. Because the calves from the back are these two big muscles, like doing this and this. She actually has quite developed calves as well. That's what happens when you are a ballerina, I guess. It's something like this, right? Like this. I guess it's something like that. I guess it comes down to almost like half the length, right? It's almost like a 2 split. And it's like grab this, establish. So where's her knee here? This is the lower part of the knee. Her kneecap is not down here. This I don't think, because this is like the lower part of the kneecap. Is her kneecap all this area? Don't quite know. So if we establish that as the kneecap, then the quad should come down like all the way there. Right? Wait, but I think that this is more hamstring that. Right? It should be more like this. That seems fair. I think there's a conversation going on my window. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna drink some water. Right, okay. So this is like my guess of what is going on here. Let's finish the bony part and then I wanna like rewatch the video. Because, okay, so I think I see the mistake I'm making is that the calves really come down like that. Right, like all the way around the side of the leg. And then they do that, and then they do this. Right, like all the back of the leg is all calf. And then this front part is all bone. Right? Like that and like that. This is all bone. Kind of, because he has quite a bit of muscle, like on around here. And then here's the feet. Feet I'm gonna draw in red, and I'm just gonna do like a quick feet structure. Something like that. Right. I think he established at some point, like...
bundled up, very similar to a bicep.
Give me 1 second.
The lower right...
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going to save that for another video.
So, up here with this purple, he established the... What did he call them?
Another thing I want to point out is with the top right girl, she's squatting down.
No, he...
Another thing I want to point out is straight. Another thing I want to point out is something I didn't talk about yet is the hip flexors.
Hip flexors. So the hip flexors should be like here and here, like there. And then I don't know what's going on here in the middle. But yeah, that's my guess of how this is going now. I'm gonna try to do this other athlete. Get a little bit more. Let's do the... Right, so here is a little bit easier because we can see like, oh, I'm on low opacity. Right. So we have like this very well defined quad here. Right. It's quite easy to see how it's going. Now my question is this all like body fat, or is that like actual muscle? I guess there's body fat like everywhere, but you know, that's what I'm trying to know. It's like how much of this shape is just body fat and how much is actual muscle. Alright, so we've got that knee there. Let's grab this. Guess they should come all the way there. Right? And why do I draw so towards that side? Okay. Right, and over here with they should be the hip flexor, was it that he called it? It's not quite like that, it's more like something like that. And on the other side it should be like this, I think. That's my guess for now. And over here you can see a little bit of her glutes coming to the side, just like there. We got a lot of quads in here. And from here, yes, it should be right. That's all quads. And this here is hamstring and hamstring. Soy completamente honesto. Uno, fue la primera música gratis que encontré. Dos, yo no la estoy escuchando. Solamente está en el stream. Yo estoy escuchando otra música. Todavía no tengo ni idea de qué música quiero escuchar, o sea, tengo que buscar como música gratuita y sin derechos de autor, pues con derechos de autor libres. Eh, pero por ahora es esa. El stream va a ir mejorando con el tiempo, o sea, créeme que he trabajado nomás, o sea, como que llego del trabajo y tengo media horita para hacerle ajustes a lo que pueda. Y mientras como voy haciendo lo que pueda y luego de una tengo que empezar el stream a las 7. Lo podría poner como a las 7:30, pero quiero como aprovechar el mayor tiempo que pueda dibujando. Y pues el- como por eso no le dedico mucho tiempo a esto. El fin de semana, sábado, que voy a descansar, le voy a dedicar un toque más de tiempo a mejorar cositas de aquí a allá. Tengo unas ideas para el avatar. Eh, así como música, transiciones, vainas que quiero hacer. Que está muy cansona. ¿Cómo suena? Ya ni me acuerdo qué música es, dame un momento. Eh, ¿Cómo es que la pongo para mí mismo? Aquí. Está suave, está. No sé si está como bien calmadita. No sé, de pronto pongo como un lo-fi o algo así. Sí, tampoco quiero algo muy animado porque pues yo no soy como de mucha energía, no soy como, hola amigos, típico youtuber exagerado. Entonces, como algo más relajado que vaya un toque más con mi vibra. Siento que es como más conveniente. Pero sí, este fin de semana puedo buscar. De pronto no la misma, más de una canción, porque en este momento tengo la misma canción, que si bien es un poquito larga, como repitiéndose una y otra vez. Que literal no encontré nada más. Pero sí, el fin de pronto le puedo encontrar una lista de reproducción o algo que sea un poquito más larga y menos repetitivo. Un lo-fi, algo por ese estilo. Aquí, ¿qué onda está sucediendo? ¿Esta es la rodilla? ¿Esto aquí sigue siendo rodilla? Miremos este man cómo lo hace. Sí, el man no solamente establece la tapa de la rodilla, sino la rodilla entera. Entonces todo esto viene siendo rodilla. Y después de poner este hueso grande acá y de marcar como estos tendones de esta parte, ah, viene y pone las pantorrillas. La pantorrilla debería salir como así. Este man hizo algo de pantorrilla de frente, ni que quiero ver. Sí, miremos acá cómo puso esta.
The lower right example, his leg is fully straight.
Ok, so. Pronto no es tanto como rayar encima, sino establecer la forma del músculo. Sí, como algo más como por este estilo. Bueno. Listo. Digamos que esto es creo que todo lo que quiero aprender de este man. Alright. Se me olvidó cambiar el switch, el chip a inglés. This is as much as I think I want to learn from Sakurai. Because this part that he does with the master studies is what I want to do tomorrow with... Hola, Manu. Justo acaba de cambiar a inglés. Me devuelvo a español. Hasta el momento lo que he hecho es aprender de aquí de este video de YouTube de Sakurai, el que tengo ahí en la esquina, cómo agrupar todos estos músculos que hicimos ayer en estos 4 grupos principales de cuádriceps, hamstrings, glúteos, pantorrilla y huesos. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back to English because I know you know English. And after that, we did like studying on real life. I just grabbed like this couple of references and I tried to draw those muscle groups on top of them. I think that I didn't quite make it with this part here. I think that these are not the glutes showing. At least not that much. I think that's just her hips. Like this empty area that we have here, it's here. And then he goes on to do like master studies, which is studying from other artists. But that's what I'm trying to do right now. This is what I'm trying to do from other videos. And tomorrow I want to grab some of my books, which are done by professional artists, and try to learn that. So I'm gonna stop with Sakuraya's video here, and I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna move on into another one. So what I'm gonna do now is go into YouTube and search how to draw legs and see what's the next video that shows up. So we watched Sakuraya. We have another video here that is called Drawing Legs the Right Way, and the thumbnail says how to draw sexy legs. Right? That sounds interesting. And this one says how to draw legs and lower body, beginner to pro, drawing full tutorial, but it's 2 hours long. So that's a little bit too much for now. The other one is 47 minutes. We can do that one, but let's keep going down. We have one by Mikey Mega, which is only 70 minutes long, so I'm gonna put a pin on that one. I'm gonna keep going down. Maybe we could like watch a couple of shorts. The shorts are like very condensed and like to the point. There's another one that says why do your leg drawings look wrong? Learn to fix. That's interesting. Yeah, my leg drawings look wrong, so I'm gonna put a pin on that one. Oh, there's one by Chomang. I love Chomang. I'm gonna open Chomang's too. And I don't find any other that I quite like. There's one by Proku, but Proku is very technical. Like he's very technical. I love his videos, but I don't know. I want to see if let me. Did he delete his channel? Oh no, okay, no, he's here. Cynics, he was one of my favorite art YouTubers like many years ago. Cynics design, Lex. Okay, so he has a video for knees and for feet. I think we can take a look at those. So next one on the list is gonna be that one that just appeared there. Let me put this one on the VIP and see if my OBS is capturing it. Yep. So it's called How to Draw Legs. Let me just change the text on the screen. It's called How to Draw Legs by, I'm gonna link his channel, Mikey Mega. Right. I did it not? What? Okay, let me move this here. Right. It's How to Draw Legs by Mikey Mega. So what I think I'm gonna do is just watch the whole video, maybe comment a little bit on what I'm watching and what I'm seeing, and then go back and study what interests me the most about the video. Right. So 3, 2, 1.
Artwork, critiques, Photoshop files, and reference sheets are all available on my Patreon. Well, hello there, guys. I hope you're doing well. My name is Mikey.
A little bit loud.
It's time for another tutorial. And today we're going to be taking a look at how to draw legs for your own anime and manga characters. We're going to keep things simple. We're going to keep
I want to draw anime and manga.
Keep it cute. So previously we've done big strong legs.
Hey, thanks for subscribing.
Broken down the muscle groups.
Was that you, Manu?
Tutorial. There's probably a link in the corner of your screen. But maybe you don't want to learn a full-on set of anatomies. Maybe you just want a nice beginner's guide to get the shape right as easy as possible so you can crack on with your own design.
Okay.
So let's take a look at that. I'm going to pop down some extra paper here so I don't mess up my page. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to draw a number of legs for you, with any luck, so that you can possibly use them as a guide or reference in your own model design. But because the legs connect to the body, the easiest thing for me to do and think around this is drawing a cross line like that. That's going to be my hips. And I'm going to just draw a nice big oval sitting on top.
Oh, he's drawing with a pencil that it's a little bit light.
And I'm going to just pretend that there's a bottom part of a body here, and I'm going to drop the legs from there, just so I have something to anchor them to.
Okay.
Because that's all part of the anatomy and their construction. I'm just going to go inside here and imagine that the joints are going to be
like
there.
a turtle.
There is the middle spine area of our character.
Alright, so right away I'm just gonna pause for a second. I don't quite like building structure with so many curved shapes. I think that it's a little bit unstable, but like he probably has a lot of practice with it, so he has a lot of control. But me personally, I like more like straight-ish shapes for structure. Let's see.
Up off the page. And when it comes to some common, very cute anime character designs, maybe you've got a really cute girl, or you want to put it on
cute
a
anime girls. It just says how to draw legs, not how to draw.
Are those slim legs that slightly bend inwards, where the knees are almost pointed together.
Okay.
And they kind of come out a little bit, and then the feet are kind of aiming in together as well. It's a really sweet kind of passive look. So what I'm going to do is just start off with a straight line down here.
That was
this is just a very light guide.
A comment. When is this from?
But I'm just
2 years ago.
some
Okay.
working space here, and tell myself that okay, if I've got an area for my legs, say they're going to be this long, I know that I want to go about halfway down here and give myself a nice generous circle. That's going to be roughly where our knees are going to go.
Okay, yeah, that's a
But because these legs are kind
big,
of
strong
bending
knee.
and going out again, I might not be working directly on top of here, but I can still use that as a guide so that I know how far down to come.
Quite a lot of guidelines he's building.
Up into simple cylinders, but the cylinder is going to be thicker at the top, and we're just going to play around with where those curves go in. So just as that guide point, just below here, I'm going to create a cylinder that starts right across here, tiny gap in the middle so that we're going to get some nice cute thigh gap as well. And on the outside edge, I'm going to curve that all the way nicely in, so it almost meets in.
I mean, tricked by his
here, right down the middle.
way of
I'm just going to create a very flat stopping point there for the moment.
Structuring that very straight line.
On this side, I might just have a little bulge here, and then I'm going to sweep in here.
Okay.
The inside edge is going to look a little bit straighter, just like so. And because the knee's pointing inwards and turning inwards, essentially, I know that I can kind of come off down here just a little bit, and then actually sweep in and get myself a nice bit of angle coming in there. Now, before I continue that, I'm just going to go ahead and slightly offset to the outside edge, or a little bit more to the left. I'm going to have another cylinder come down with a relatively straight line here.
Still not quite visualizing what he's building.
Pop off around about here to the bottom of the leg. We've got this distance between these two bits. This distance between these two bits looking good so far, but we're still going to put a foot on the end. And then over here, if I see this curve coming down and in as it gets to about this point, I might just think, right, about halfway down through this circle, not all the way down to the middle, but down in its height. You know what down is. I'm going to pop out, and I'm going to pop out almost as much as this knee angle.
I think for this moment, for this second, for this bit of a stream where I'm just watching the video, I could just maybe scale up this screen a little bit so that it's more visible, and then I'll bring it down back when I'm done watching this stream, the video.
Gentle curve something like
so that you guys can watch the same as I'm watching.
Back in just a bit as we make our way back towards
okay,
the
so
line. So this part of the leg.
Right, so I see what he's doing, but I'm still
it's going to curve
intrigued.
Almost further in, and then it's going to come out
by how straight his guidelines are.
Just there. So now we're curving down across that guideline. And in terms of this bit over here, I'm just slowly bringing that line in and making the leg nice and thin relatively early on. So it's coming down to the ankle and still looking nice and sweet. And then just double checking things.
Nice and sweet.
Up. There might be a little bit of a straighter area just here because we've got
loads of way of describing things
joining up in the leg, but we won't worry about those details. And then coming up on this outside calf area, I'm going to let that sweep out just a little bit more because these are my guides, but I just want to get a bit more curve so that it goes up the body and then meets up against the hips somewhere over there with our character. And of course we can get a sweeping line, a bit of a V in here.
Yeah, so I see what he's doing there.
Up into the body. This is where we've got the bottom of the privates just down there. And this center line I've put in, I've actually worked a little bit further over to this side. If you imagine, it's a very thick center line, and that's going to even up a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is just to indicate the fact that we've got the knee sort of working over here. It might be as simple as I'm just going to put a line around about here, just to show that there's a little bit of dimple. The knee's popping out, down into the leg, and then we can work on that foot coming off of here, and that's.
So he's definitely like leaning in towards that like cute pose that you see in a lot of manga and anime where the girl has like her knees inward. Because if you see there, the knee he just established with that dimple is pointing inwards, like the whole knee is completely rotated towards the inner side of the leg, which is fine, I guess. Like it's quite a bit of stylization, but I'm not sure if I want to practice that because it's not wrong, right? It's not wrong or anything, but at this moment in my learning journey, I think that I want to get a little bit closer to reality so that then I can go back and break the rules. But let's just keep going and see what he does.
It's curving back in. So if we imagine this character's wearing heels or pumps or some kind of boot, I'm just going to come down the outside edge for where there's a bit of a heel, but really most of that foot's coming down here.
Yeah, he's gonna point the toe completely towards the inside of the body.
Around about there. And I'm just going to firm up this line as we come back up here, pop up there, go around the edge, just like so. And again, let's just sweep in here. We get that knee just really popping out there.
Okay.
All that leg goes in. So just like that, we've got a slightly turned in leg, but changes
slightly. That's this girl is
ever so slightly. Remember, these are still.
This girl has some severe pigeon toe syndrome.
Zone. We're gonna see the curves of the surface, something like that. And then what I'm gonna do is just zoom in a little bit, seeing as we've got that opportunity. I'll make my other legs around about the same length. I'm gonna drop in some building blocks for this one, but then we're gonna look again at another very cute floatsy pose. A little bit of stepping action as well.
Okay.
So let me just zoom that camera.
I'm more interested in that one.
So this time I'm going to be much quicker now that we know what's going on. The weight of the character is still coming straight down here.
Oh, okay. So the straight line is useful for the balance of the leg. I see. I see what he's
slightly sweeping in.
Putting down.
Curve is going down towards where the knee's going to be. Outside edge is really curving up and out, not a huge amount, but just enough so that in terms of the overall proportions and so on, are still looking pretty sweet. If we drop down for our knee area, which is kind of in this bit here, we're going to come down here, bump right in and across, then with the leg maybe a bit straight here, and we're bumping right out again, and here we're going to just come straight down, imagining the shin. So there's going to be a tiny bit of the calf just on the inside edge, and then we're going to almost do a slightly concave curve.
Yeah, like so you will never see someone standing like this unless they are doing a very specific like shy pose.
If this is first position or second position or third position, if any of you guys do tap dancing or ballet, but it feels like it might be something vaguely along those lines. Let's sweep out that calf. Keep that leg nice and slim, however, as we go up and down. I'm just eyeballing this one and trying to mirror the other nice and quickly this time. Just like so. We can always clean it up when I drop into some time lapse. And then in a very similar way, let's get another booty right down here. Some ankle joints. Dropping out for the heel. And then, bosh, just like that, with a little divot, side of the knee, just so that there's the slightest hint of structure. We can just get a tiny bit of bum in there as well, or just leave that thigh gap as it is for the character.
Why did he establish that lower curve if he wasn't gonna use it? Like, what is he
just going to erase part of that
looking for with that one?
Just so you don't confuse it for part of the structure.
Interesting.
And as simple as that, we've got a nice, simple pair of legs, slightly turning in. If you draw a character
not quite slightly
like this, they're going to be uber cute, uber sweet looking. Also, again, very useful if you just want a straight-on character design for your own character sheets and bits. But let's have a quick look at something.
Yeah, so this is definitely like quite leaning into that almost stereotypical anime girl, you know, like with the shy pose, and it's not quite my style. Not quite. Not that I don't like the trope, but I don't think, like, it's very specific. It's like learning this. It's very much very specific for that particular pose or that particular type of character. It's not like general knowledge that we're acquiring by practicing this. But let's keep going. I'm gonna go to the bathroom for a second. I'll come back. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's keep watching, see where this goes. I mean, he's quite professional. Like, he has like an incredible control over his lines. So let's see where he goes. Oh, I didn't change the scene. God
and then
damn it.
the other leg, I'm gonna have it just kind of
I'm so
come a little
sorry.
bit
There we go.
down towards where our knee level is. But because
We didn't
this
miss
is tilted
much.
down,
Let's try.
I know
Like,
that
it's
the
just
knee's
laying
actually
down
bent
some
just a little
construction
bit lower,
lines.
somewhere around there, and then maybe this leg's gonna disappear off a little bit more like that. And I'm just gonna show how this kind of mixing of weights still makes things look relatively nice and stick some feet on the bottom with any luck. So again, I'm just going to imagine that this is a hip joint, just by giving myself this rough working ellipse.
I'm still intrigued by that. Oh, okay, so he's just trying to establish an ellipse.
So if I imagine there's a bit of energy to the flow of the spine, what I might do, and this is purely for me helping me with my structure, I might just imagine that there's a body mass somewhere up here and that the flow of the spine is coming from somewhere, just so that I understand there's still meant to be a character theoretically disappearing off of the top, but nothing to worry about there, just helps me out. Now let's get some circles in. Not going to be too generous this time because I want these to be nice slim legs that we're going to play around with, and then one down here. And this time,
because the knee is quite
drawing
wide.
just some base column and then working from there, I'm going to a little bit more naturally now, especially now that I know what I want to do with my curves. Come out and think, hey, let's curve outwards and then right in towards that knee.
Interesting.
Very gently on this leg.
Quite uniform
Again,
curve.
I'm going to come up relatively straight and smooth on this side as a guideline, but I also know that, right, I'm bumping on the inside, because not just the knee, on the inside edge where the knee is, lots of muscle groups meet together. So I'm going to bump on the inside there. Almost feels like this leg is coming in at this angle as we sweep across. And some of the muscle structure is.
That's
again,
useful.
Don't worry about that. And then I'm going to sweep up just like so.
Yeah,
because gently bump inside as well for the inside.
So even though he established like a straight construction line,
let's get a little bit of shape.
He still managed to make that.
There's a knee. And then if we follow down on
like
this side,
imbalance curve that I see in
organic leg, maybe
a lot of artists' work.
Down off the shin, down to a foot, around about here. Very lightly this time, just slightly thicker at the top, before we come down to a really slim, effeminate ankle there. And then on this side, we're going to pop that, just bump a little bit lower and a little bit more firmly, but otherwise almost the same. Or we sweep in this curve, almost going the other way, almost concave a little bit there. And again, let's just get in some ankle bumps, 1 and 2, and then hopefully some vague foot-like shape. Fingers crossed. Let's go with some kind of pedal that follows that sweeping feeling in. And we can pretend that's the end of a shoe. And then with this leg, I want to capture that same flow. So bottom for privates, round about here, connecting to the body. Just like so. Now on this side, I'm going to capture a bit more of the top of the leg as it's turning in. So this curve's actually going to be a little bit more consistent up this side. Just like so. But as it goes to the knee, I'm going to go a little bit the other way and straighten out a bit before meeting over that knee, and a bit like here, because this one is turned in. I'm going to get a nice joint.
It's a little bit lower too.
And then on the outside edge, coming down again once more with that curve of the body, sweeping in a little bit more directly as we curve in towards this.
Right, so I know he did that, but he didn't quite explain
and then now
why that one doesn't come out.
This side. Slight bump round about here. Let's just come down and get a little bit of the inside edge of the calf, sweeping out and kind of going away from us. This leg is disappearing off behind the character. They're sort of walking, sort of floating. And then I'm just going to have the calf come out the back here. Again, pop right down to this.
Don't like that sharp turn there.
Design. Now going and curving.
Probably gonna fix it.
Almost the other way as we get down to a roundabout where there's a bit of ankle structure. And again, this foot turned even further in, a little bit smaller to show that it's a little bit further away. Something just like so. And the heels at the back, just like that. So now we've got these very slimmer, lighter flowing legs for an anime character. You can kind of tell because the
quite unbalanced for walking.
I might even personally close that up just a little bit, but that's just personal preference. You obviously get much slimmer characters, so it's all good to go. And then what I'm going to do now is give you guys some more side-on, back view, and a different way to have the stance of your character. I'll pop in a few more right across here in the time lapse. so that you've got something to use.
How much is
I'll talk
left?
you through the details
Okay,
in just a moment.
Not that much left. Let's see what he does. Right, so that's the side view. With a heel, of course. Okay, that's the back view. That's a very nice construction there with the back side of the knee. Right. I don't quite like how he drew the buttocks, but the construction I really like how he constructed the back side of the knee in that one.
Hello there, guys, and welcome back. Right,
Thank
let's
you.
just zoom out just a little bit here on the camera. Excuse the shaking. And hopefully this is giving you a bit of an idea of what you can be doing with the legs for your own anime and manga characters when you keep it nice and simple.
Right.
Essentially, a little bit thicker up the top of the thigh, sweep into the knee. If you want to have that kind of cute turned-in leg look, just remember there's a bit of hard edge that you're going to mix in just to get that bump sticking out, and then you can have the calves kind of shooting off that outside edge as well. The weight still works, but it's getting a little bit cutesy. Or if you're somebody who wants to draw those kind of more flowing, floaty characters, you've got these more ethereal
Don't
designs.
quite like that second
Firstly,
one.
just go with the flow. When we're doing our basic sketch lines in here, just sweep down with your legs depending on what you want to have happening. Maybe if you're going to be having a character have a slightly wider stance, they're going to look more solid, so think about that. Or if you're going to have them step
I like that
very
one.
daintily across the leg line,
I like the
you're going to create
last
something that's
two
very
he drew,
svelte
which
with
were
its
the ones that he
outside
didn't quite
curving
explain,
lines,
but
and
it's
also
fairly
gonna
easy
be
to
very
understand.
precise feeling as well.
I think that
So you might have a
one
page
mistake
that's
he's
stepping
making,
across like this.
quote unquote mistake, it can be like his own choice. But something that I'm observing that he's not doing is bringing the buttocks down, especially on this backside. I guess I'll try to explain it when I'm drawing. The buttocks, the gluteus maximus, is it the, what is it called? The gluteus maximus comes down into the leg quite a bit. It's not quite restrained up there. It looks very cartoonish on his explanation, but it could be his own choice. I'm not saying that it's wrong.
You might have a more flowery character that's a bit younger and just hopping around and being described with legs a little bit more like this. So guys, hopefully that's done the trick, how to draw some basic legs. This sheet is going to be available along with all of the other sheets on my Patreon page. You can download my entire set from all the tutorials for just $1, and that is why I'm able to make sure that I keep making free drawing tutorials here on YouTube. It's thanks to those delicious patrons
I should
whose
make a
names you're seeing
Patreon
on screen. But that's just how I like it. I think drawing's really important. I want everyone to give it a try. Takes your mind off of life's troubles, and the only way I'm able to keep doing that is thanks to the patrons. But just clicking
I don't want to be
subscribe and all
rude.
that
I
stuff
want to
actually
let him
really
finish.
helps as well. So thank you very much for
But
watching.
yeah, if you
guys.
like his
Hit
stuff,
in the
I
comments
guess
to let me know
subscribe
what
to
we're
his
gonna be doing
Patreon.
next time around. I'll see you then. Take care.
It wasn't quite my cup of tea when it comes to drawing style. Out of everything he explained, let me bring down the viewing window a bit around there, right? It's more like there. Out of everything that he explained and that I gathered, give me 1 second. I'm gonna save this file before I have another power outage. Right. So yeah. God, my attention span is a mess. Out of everything he explained, and what I really liked was, first of all, like a lot of artists draw like this sort of ellipse for the rib cage, you know, like that, and then they come down here like that, and then over here some do like a box for the for the hips or for the pelvis, like that, right? And then they start building from there. But some other artists, I think Chomang does this, where he does another ellipse shape. But this ellipse down here can be a little bit unstable, right? Like, you're not quite sure if it's this, or if it's this, or if it's this, right? Like, you start trying to shoot it, like, almost in the dark, and hoping that you reach the right shape. So what I liked about this tutorial we just watched, which was by Mikey Mega, Mikey, I'm gonna call him. What I liked that he did there was that he did this straight line, right? Did this straight line, right? Like something like that. And then from it, he brought down this very narrow shape here, and then he did this one. And what that helps him do, right, is come down like this and achieve that achieve that ellipse with a little bit more like structure. Like, he's not quite shooting it dark, he's anchoring down to that straight line he drew. So instead of doing that, he builds it up like this. So from here he goes and establishes like a middle section, and it's not quite explained where he finds these points. It's not quite in the middle of this area. Like, it's not quite in the middle of this area here, but it's somewhere like a little bit beyond the middle, right? Like there and there. And he just throws a straight line down. I'm gonna do it like this and like this, right? And around the middle part, like, he establishes very big knees, which is fair because, as we saw yesterday, here's where the femur, like, we have a kneecap here, and the femur like connects here, and the tibia connects here, so the knees are quite wide. Even for a very thin person, I think that their knees are gonna show up quite strong. And then from here, he just kind of starts going into those. My curves are not gonna be quite as pretty as his, of course. He has way more expertise than I do. But he goes like this, and he gets a little bit of a bump here, and then sweeps into the knee and wraps around below the knee, like that. And this sort of like coming in like this and swooping out like that gives him the orientation of the femur, which is around it goes down like this and then goes down like that. But instead of like playing in the dark again with that direction of the femur, he just establishes this straight line to like balance out the form, and then lets the silhouette of the leg show him where that femur shape would be, because the femur comes out like this and then would be like that, right? Something like that. But yeah, I see where that is going, and I like it. I didn't quite like the over exaggerated pigeon toe character, but that's just like preference, right? Like, that's just what he likes. I'm not judging or anything or criticizing him. He's very good with those pencil lines. Quite enjoyed watching him. But yeah, from here he goes. He almost follows this straight line he established for the tibia bone all the way here, and he marked that. He remarked that this part here should be the same as this part here. I'm not quite sure if it's the same, because it should be a little bit lower. I'm just eyeballing it. Right? So he said that. He remarked that. Unless I'm mistaken. And from here he did like his little pigeon toe thingy. Let me see if I can. Oh god, my feet are terrible. Right, like that. And I guess let me take this and do that. He came out like quite a bit here and then came in like this. Let me get like a wider brush. Yep, like that. And then came in like that. And established the structure of the ankle a little bit here. And not quite so much here. Right, more like that. And up here, just below this, just behind the knee, he brought in a little bit of muscle. Right, like that. And that's what he did. What I'm seeing here is that I'm gonna end up with quite a bit of a thigh gap. So I'm gonna recenter this a little bit. Right. Just a little bit of an adjustment. Right. So let me do this very quickly. Comes in a little bit and then sweeps in, comes down, comes out quite a bit, it goes down, and from here he does this, then right. Does something like that, then brings in a little bit of muscle here. So that's like his, well, of course not quite as beautiful as his, but this is like his pigeon toe character. You can polish up a bit. Right. Right, something like that. What I really want to gather from him or learn from him is this thing he did on the back view, where he, let me do the same thing he did, right, to establish like this ellipse shape. Right, down the middle and just about to the sides. This one has like more of a, oh god, what's that? Why did I change my pen? Huh? I don't know how I did that. He did more like a wider stance, like that. This is not quite centered. Right, it's something like that. And then what he did was, he established like a little bit of a division for the buttocks, and established like the crotch. Then he sweeps in quite sharply here, like around there. I guess I should establish the knees first, and then the feet. Is this right? It's a little bit long for the feet, but around there should be fine. Right. It's a little bit of a straighter shape. Like something along those lines. And this one, he again sweeps in quite sharply. And then has a little bit of a... this is not quite working. What am I doing wrong? I guess the knees are too small. Alright. Right, but what I want to get to with this one is we can... I wanted to show two things with this one. The first one is that I don't quite think that the bot is... Let me grab another color. Is like so restrained up here to the point that it causes like these shapes. Right, I think that that's quite restrained. I think that the bot sweeps in more into this sort of flow down here to the hamstrings. More of like that. Not so quite so sharp. But something more along those lines. It's what I'm thinking. I think it looks a little bit more natural. Well, I say as I speak about my terrible drawing, but you know, it's just the impression I'm gathering from these studies we did last night. That's a little bit more of how that muscle works. Let's fix this a little bit. Right, and what I quite liked about his approach here, this is the part that I got pretty excited about, is that he establishes this division here behind the knee. It comes down like this, right? And then from here he sweeps out the calf and comes back in. And from here he just establishes this and kind of follows this straight line here. Right, I think this is quite useful, especially this boxy part that he brings in here. Like helps anchor the leg quite well. Right, and from here he would just bring out like... I like how he did the feet in this one. Let me try to emulate it. See what I can gather from it. Well, of course he put like heels on the character, right? Like that's just to be expected. Not quite like that. And here we've got something like that. And we've got that same shape there. What to... Something like that. Right, so I understand what he's doing. I'm just missing a little bit of like structure. I think that I could, well, more like practice. Can fix that a bit there. But yeah, out of everything he explained, I quite liked this way of connecting the back of the leg to the knee. But the rest of it, I don't think that it's quite my style to learn how to build the leg. I guess let's go on to the next tutorial. I'm gonna take this tutorial's link and save it for later, because every single tutorial we watch is gonna go into the description. Let's go into the next one. I'm gonna close this here. Oh, this one is called "Why Do Your Leg Drawings Look Wrong? Learn to Fix," and it's by someone called Draw Like a Sir, who has 1.7 million subscribers. That's crazy. And now that I'm looking at his what's it called, at his profile picture, his channel avatar, I'm pretty sure this is someone who has published tutorial books in the past, so this should be good. This one is 7 minutes. It's quite quick, so let's give it a watch before we like start before we go into the understanding part. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Let me restart it. Let's go.
When you're drawing a human, I think making a character's legs stand and look believably is the hardest thing to get right. And there are a couple
okay,
of
so I'm not alone in
to
this.
make this look a bit less awkward, and I'm going to show you how this works. Hi there. You know what I get to read a lot in my comments? Yeah, that. But there are also so many people asking about a how to draw a leg video, but just learning the anatomy.
Is his name Marcel? Wait. That's all right. That's like that's my best friend's name. Interesting.
A how to draw a leg video, but just learning the anatomy of a leg is not going to help you with drawing a character. What you need is how to make a character stand correctly. So let's just look at the very basic build-up of a human, learn the dynamics and learn how to make them stand so that your pose doesn't look stiff and awkward. There's also a draw-along part if you want to join me, and maybe there will also be a cheat sheet with some more info at the end of the video for you to screenshot.
Interesting.
Also, I know this is kind of awkward to ask in advance, but please leave a like so that more
You know that's fair. I should be leaving likes in all of these videos just because I'm using them, right? Like, that's fair. Let me go back to the video we watched before.
Artwork, critiques, photo.
I'm leaving a like, even though I didn't love it, but I still learned from it, so it's warranted. Yeah, let's be fair with that.
A nice way to help me out, because my name's not that. And today you are going to learn how to make your characters stand.
Okay, like enough with the JoJo jokes. What year is it?
Okay, so instead of looking at a leg like this with all of the details, let's look at a leg in a more simpler fashion. Just your thigh, your calf, and your foot.
Okay.
Also, you obviously have a joint that would be your knee. So let's just keep it simple like that. I think this makes things a bit simpler to understand and also to draw.
Okay, yeah,
Just
that's a very simple construction dummy.
Easy to remember. A simple box for your hip, one cone for your thigh, your calf, Also kind of a cone. The only exception being there's this bump on the
Okay,
side.
interesting.
Lastly, you obviously have your foot, but your foot also has a very simple shape. You now have your 3 points where a leg can move. You have your hip, that's the joint where your entire leg moves.
Right.
You have your knee, obviously. And
The
there
hip
is
doesn't
also
quite
your
rock
foot.
like that,
So
but
this
fair.
should at least be enough to give the legs that you're drawing somewhat of a sensible shape. Go ahead, give it a shot. Draw it like this. It's literally just the way that I've showed you before.
Okay,
A very
yeah.
simple cone shape. Your joint, aka your knee. And then there's the lower part of your leg, which are your calves. Again, don't overcomplicate things. You can also just draw this very simple shape for your foot and call it a day for now. Because remember, it's not about the details at the moment, it's just about how to make your character.
Stop it. No more JoJo jokes.
Okay, so
That's
legs
enough.
function kind of like springs. You know, at the Paralympics where the athletes without legs get these kind of springs as a replacement? Sounds weird, but this is exactly how a leg works. The lower part balances.
That's a
the
good
part out.
comparison,
So
or a
instead
good
of legs being on
analysis.
skin,
Not
they are
comparison.
just kind of an S-curve most of the time in a very relaxed state. That's the trick to a believable standing
Oh
person,
my god.
drawing their legs with some momentum. So
Okay.
you start with the hip, which is actually tilted. Most people tend to forget that. And this is also where you
Yeah,
have
that's
your legs
fair.
attached. There goes your knees, your calves, and your feet. And the reason why this drawing looks believable is because these legs are standing a curved stand. But I guess that's
I'm gonna
something
stop watching
most
this
of you guys
video.
are able to
It keeps going like that.
understand. Okay, I'll stop now. Now that
Jesus Christ, dude.
let's try drawing
It's
the
pretty
legs
funny,
together.
to be fair.
I picked out the best reference photos I could find for this. You could say they are the best in the entirety of the world. Okay, so I didn't want models
Oh my
with pants
God.
on. We wanna see
Jesus
legs
Christ.
after all, but
I'm
models
gonna leave a
with,
dislike at this point.
well, let's say they don't leave anything to the imagination. So let's just take some photos that I've made for my latest book. Luckily, my little brother.
Yeah, he
wanted
has a
me to
Polish
do a
book.
photo shoot, so I
Now I
took
remember.
A lot of photos that we
I was
could
right.
use here. By the way, in case you want to know more about my books or my art supplies, you could just go ahead and visit my online shop. You could find basically all of my works
Okay.
there, including my pencil case and books with my brother.
That seems like a
posing
very
there.
nice pencil case. Right.
These jokes just write themselves sometimes.
No, they don't.
Okay, let's
Stop
go.
it.
Here's a photo of my brother from my latest book. Let's try drawing the legs in a similar fashion. For starters, you want to draw this box that represents your hip. And you might wonder, like, where this box thing is. And it's easy to spot if you know what you're looking for, because your hip bones are visible right where these V-cup lines are. They are basically resting on your hip bones.
Okay.
So if you're on the lookout for these, you know always exactly where
That's
this box
the
is. And like I said before,
the aces that we studied last night. So yeah.
this box is actually tilted, because that's how your hip works. That's why most pros draw these boxes slightly at an angle, but if that's confusing to you, you don't have to do that. It's just a thought that counts.
Should be
You
fine.
can also draw it straight, doesn't have to be angled. And now let's proceed like before. And remember to keep it simple, just easy cone shapes, nothing elaborate. Focus on replicating the pose.
Okay. Oh, that's a quite sweeping line. That's quite of a sweeping line, I should have said. English is hard.
Now remember what I said before, your lower legs are not sticks, so don't draw them
So what I'm seeing there is that he
Always
put the knee
dynamics
quite
involved, like I told you
down. Okay.
Oh yeah, I screwed up the camera setting, by the way, so you can't see what's going on. Just
It's fine.
Okay, now you should be able to see how I add the feed in a very simplified way, and that's pretty much it. You could also add these volume lines.
He
that I'm
is
always
not-
adding in order to check if the drawing actually has
He's
a
not neat
3D
with his
feed.
with his
Now you can
lines
correct the final shape, like the
in
thigh,
comparison to the one we
has a
watched
bit
before,
more
which is
mass
not
if you precisely
a
look at it.
mistake
The
or
most
anything.
important thing here was to get
right. Like it's just an observation I'm making. Like we went from someone with very clean line work to him that draws more like me. We just throw lines to construct and then we clean it up. Let me go back to see what he saw before I started speaking over him.
pretty much it. You could also add these volume lines that I'm always adding in order to check if the drawing actually has a 3D feeling to it. And now you can correct the final shape. Like the thigh, for example, has a bit more mass to it if you precisely look at it. The most important thing here was to get the dynamics right before so that it doesn't look stiff. That's why we are doing things like correcting the exact shape last. Oh, and if that wasn't enough for you, there are some more poses from my book if you want to practice some more. Just make sure that if you upload them to Instagram or social media or whatever, to tag my brother. I bet he's always very happy if he gets to see your guys' drawings of him. I mean, you could also tag me. And also, hey, here's a cheat sheet that you should definitely screenshot.
Is that the end of the video? Okay.
Stands at home.
Oh my
god. The only thing that I would want to return would be a comment.
Right, I'll never watch a video from this guy ever again.
You can just comment what kind of video
ever again.
I have a couple of ideas for
what?
Future videos.
Is this from like 2016? It's from this year.
Well then, see you guys.
It's from this year and he's making JoJo jokes. It's fair. It's fair. Like I enjoy JoJo jokes. It's just a little bit overdone. Right, so wait, are you guys seeing the video in like
Fine for this. You could say they
absolute shit quality? Ooh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that when I scaled up the video it looked like shit. I'll fix that later. But yeah, maybe not. Maybe it looks... Oh no, when I scale it up it looks better. But if I scale it down it looks like shit. Okay, I think I didn't screw up as bad as I thought. Let's bring this window back down a little bit, like there, and go back to studying what we saw from him. So his concept or his idea was quite basic. It was related to what we were talking before. It was just like, hey, let's establish the hip as a bounding box, right? Like at a little bit of an angle. So that's quite the perspective there. That make it more isometric. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect. And then from here he just draws let me go back to see what he's doing. He doesn't even draw like an establishing line, right? He just goes for the cone right away. Yeah, he just does this, like, right? He just goes like that, and then right, like this, and he establishes a knee there. And then how would he do the other leg here? I mean,
the moment
right, so the leg comes up from here. He just sweeps it in like that, and then there's that. Let me check this. Okay, yeah. And then he just does another cone. And he does the feet. Right, so it's quite of a basic, like, not basic. It's not basic. It's simplified. It's very synthesized. Building mannequin, I guess, like his own building mannequin is quite efficient. I like this, like I could see myself using this. But I think that for a beginner it leaves out quite a bit of information, right? Like it's not quite this, it's not quite like this uniform shape. Like it should have a little bit more of a, like, an intention. Give me a second. How do I do this? Okay. Like it needs to have like a little bit more of a direction like that. And then you can do that. The same with the lower part of the feet, of the leg. Like, sure, you can have this, and here you can have your feet. But then when you go on and add detail, you should take into account that one side of the legs sweeps in more than the other, right? And this one is a little bit straighter, and this one comes in like that. But no, I enjoyed that video. Not the JoJo jokes. I'm exaggerating. I did enjoy the JoJo jokes, but maybe up until the third one. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That's a very good way of just breaking down things to its most basic shape. That was a very quick and easy video. I guess we could, now that, considering we have this reference here, I guess I will use it to try and apply it. So what we have here is like, wait, am I doing, okay, yeah, we have the box going back, not quite that far. I guess, yeah, because it's tilting forward. Right? Should be a little bit more in perspective, but doesn't have to be perfect. And then, is this right? I think that it's way too... that it should be more like there. Something that I'm missing. Okay, I'm seeing my mistake. This is why studying is important. Let me... So this box is not only going backwards, but it's also tilting that way. Or is it tilting that way? That's a dilemma, because we have one hip, one ace is here, and the other one is like, where is it? Here? So it's like that, and then it goes back. Man, I wish I had like a professional artist with me to correct me if I'm doing stuff wrong, because I could be totally doing the exercise wrong and learning the wrong thing. But oh well, it's just part of the self-learning journey. Okay, we have that there. And from here we can, I'm gonna grab another color. I'm gonna just establish this knee and this knee, and go there, 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 and there. I guess could go like that. Let's do this one with another color, like there, and like that. And then let's go back to the blue. We have the feet here. Could go just like that and like that. That's not quite right. Let me, instead of doing that ball here, I'm gonna... So I always think of the foot like that. But the ankle here is quite important. Like, you don't, the foot doesn't suddenly break into that shape, right? Like that. It's more like the leg ends up here, and then we have the ankle, and then we have the foot, like around there. Right? So let me establish that there, and establish this here, and then we can go like this and like that. And then let's grab the purple. And this one is going down in perspective, but I guess it should be like there. It's quite a strong foreshortening. Right, it would be something like that. Would it? Alright, let's do it for this one. Let's grab the red for the hip. So this one, I think the aces is right here. It should be easier. But on the other side, I heard... I guess before anything, we should consider is the pelvis twisting away from us? Rather, God, my brain is such a mess. Is the pelvis twisting and is it moving away from us? In this case, her back leg is like her back leg is on almost on the same line as her front leg. So it's coming towards us while this one is going away from us. Kind of. So that means, oh God, my voice just cracked like a like crazy. It just, how do I do this? Should we do it like, I guess this is the box. Is the box? Is the box here? Or is it here? No. Or is it here? That's something to consider. But I guess the box is just here. Right? Because this is just muscle. This is not part of the box. The box can cut that. And the box should be there. And since it's at an angle, it should be like, oh God. It should be something like that. It feels weird. I don't feel like I'm doing this right. Let me redo it. Let me just redo this whole thing. So I think that the boss is definitely here, right? But for the other side, right? So this is one of our side views. What am I doing wrong? That? Suddenly I feel quite a bit of how do you say this word in English? Wait. In English, I don't know this word. Uncertainty. I definitely know that word. Yeah, I feel like very uncertain about this exercise now. So what I think it's happening, which isn't allowing me to build this box, is that because she's turning away from us quite deep, quite sharply, the box is in perspective, or should be. I need to draw. I'm gonna do a whole last week of just drawing boxes. Okay, let's do this correctly. But then we don't have the angle. Right, let's... Right. And then this one would be here, which would connect there. And then... I'm gonna go with that. Because otherwise I'm gonna spend the whole night trying to solve this. if you're an experienced artist and you saw me just struggle with that, I would appreciate any tip that you can give me. All right, let's establish like these knees here and here. Oh, I think I see something. Let me observe. Let me observe for a second. Is this right? This feels righter than before. Right, because this is not the box, like this line here. That's just her leg connecting to the box. Because the leg comes out like that. So that tissue there is not part of the box. Right, this feels better than before. Right, let me do that, do the thing. So this is our first leg, right? Oh, from behind, he didn't touch on that, but let's just limit ourselves to the topic he explained, and then I'll try to see how we could add the buttocks to his explanation. Right. And if I were to add a buttocks here, I'm gonna turn on the photo so that I'm not tracing it. And if we imagine that we have a spine there, right? Would it be something like this? Let's see how accurate this is. When we turn on the picture back up. Ooh, not quite, but it wasn't as bad. Let me grab another color. So her buttocks would be more like there and then there. I think that I didn't take into account the angle that she's turning, but this part was fine. Right. So yeah, I really enjoyed that video. I already gave it a like, I think. Yeah, it's by Draw Like a Sir. I forgot to put it on stream. I'm such a dum-dum. I was gonna say idiot. I'm such an idiot. But yeah, I'm still gonna leave it on the description. It's by Draw Like a Sir. He's a published artist. I've seen his video on Amazon. Not particularly interested in picking it up because I already have a lot of videos, a lot of books on structure and anatomy, but quite an enjoyable tutorial. Right, let's move on to the next one, which is How to Draw Legs, Tutorial and Practice, Sitting Pose by Chomang Drawing. Chomang is an artist that just blew up like crazy when shorts came out. He has been drawing for like 7 years, I think. I recently saw one of his videos where he told a little bit of his story. He is a Korean artist, which means that I need subtitles to watch his video. But the subtitles are not gonna show up on stream because the way I captured the video is with a picture-in-picture, and the bad thing about that is that the closed caption that he leaves on the video doesn't appear on the picture-in-picture. Right. So I still want to watch it because he's like one of my favorites. In fact, like this whole series that I'm doing is like I was explaining at the beginning of the stream, like I want to see how much I can learn for free on YouTube but I kind of want to pay for his subscription, for his membership, because it's just too good. Like, he is, because he has gone through this journey that I'm starting, where he has put in the work and learning and learning and learning. He knows what people's pitfalls are, and he like takes that approach into explaining things. So that's why I enjoy him so much. I'm glazing Chomang like crazy. Watch him do like something very bad at some point in like very cancelable or something. Right, let me resize the viewing window so that you guys can watch. Oh, my Clip Studio Paint just disappeared from stream. Give me a second. Is that better? Yeah, I don't know why Clip Studio Paint does that. Right, so I'm gonna put the video here, and I'm gonna not gonna forget to put the title of the video on stream. Where is it? Right, currently studying this by Chomang. Right, move this here. Give me 1 second, they're knocking on my door. Mike's muted, okay. Sorry about that, we're just bringing me something. Right, so I've been glazing Chomang for the past 20 minutes. Let's just give it a watch. His tutorial is 20 minutes. Like I said, it's not gonna have subtitles, but I guess I can like jab over him and try to make it so we understand what he's saying. So yeah, let's go. Man, he's so good. And that's pretty much what we saw in the other tutorial, right? Like the two cone shapes. Yeah, look at what he does. It's so clean. And that's what I enjoy about him. Like you're about to see that his construction lines and his like are very derivative. No, not derivative. Like they are very intentional. He draws his construction lines once and uses them. It doesn't matter if they are like squiggly or like unstable. He just goes with them, and then he cleans them up later, which results in a very like authentic drawing. I don't know how to say it. It just feels like very human and very beautiful because of that. You're about to see. I don't know how to. I wish I had words to describe what I like about people's art. But this is one of my favorite artists. Let's go. He's just saying hello. He's gonna... Yeah, he's saying that he's gonna draw how the legs are connected to the pelvis in a sitting position. Okay. Interesting. Oh wait, you guys can actually see the... Wait, you can actually see the subtitles. That's new. Also, I don't have to translate. Okay, let me go back a little bit and just... Because I was trying to focus on reading and speaking. I'm just gonna let it play. Right. Yeah, we go with the box. So what he just did there, I'm sorry about pausing it, but those two semicircles that he's drawing there are very specific to a sitting pose. Because if the character wasn't sitting, those circles wouldn't be placed there. They would be on like between the two faces of the box. That's what I assume. Like it would be around the vertex. Is that the right word for the line? But yeah, just wanted to comment on that. It's more like a personal mental note that I make for myself in speaking out loud.
그리고 무릎을 연결해 줄 건데요. 다리는 골반으로부터 꽤나 자유롭게 움직일 수 있는데요. 방금 그린 반원은 다리가 앞으로 향한 모습을 그릴 때 좀 더 쉽게 그려볼 수 있는 방법일 거예요.
Right.
그리고 원이 아니라 반원인 이유는 엉덩이 부분의 범위를 좀 더 유연하게 그려볼 수 있기 때문입니다.
Wait, let me go back. The reason why it's not a circle but a semicircle is it's because it can draw the area of the hip more flexibly. I see what he means, but let me quite try to grasp it. It's because the character is sitting, so... I understand why, but I cannot put it into words. But yeah, it's a very good tip.
범위를 좀 더 유연하게 그려볼 수 있기 때문입니다.
Yeah. You see that his lines are not like super crisp? But I love how he just goes with the line he draws. He has incredible precision. He just redrew that, but that was fine.
그러면 이번에는 비슷한 각도인데 조금 다른 포즈를 그려볼게요. 이번에는 다리를 좀 벌린 포즈여서 방금 그린 반원을 옆으로 이동시켜 줍니다.
Right, so that's what I was saying. Like when you move the legs, they can overtake the vertex of the box. So they are not like restrained to one of the faces of the box. They can like move around the surface area of the box.
그리고 왼쪽 다리는 앞쪽을 향하고 있기 때문에 무릎을 연결한 다음에는 입체적인 느낌을 표현하기 위해서 이런 가이드라인을 사용해 보면 좋을 거예요.
Interesting. A little bit of foreshortening there.
이 부분은 치골이라고 잘못 알려진
Iliac crest. What we call the aces.
그리고 이렇게 다리를 그려볼 때 처음 그리신다면 기본 원기둥으로만 그려도 괜찮은데
Not quite a cylinder, more like a cone.
S라인 또는 B라인처럼 다리에서 보이는
Wait, what was that? Did you guys hear the gecko?
특징을 알아가면서 S라인 또는
Such as S lines and B lines.
B라인처럼 다리에서 보이는
It's okay to draw well expressed in the character.
그려보셔도 괜찮습니다.
Okay. S lines are B lines. I need to draw that. I need to learn that from him. I think he explains that on his
몸의 중심 라인입니다.
membership.
이번에도 조금 다른 포즈를 그려볼게요. 골반 박스를 그릴 때 정확하게 직육면체로 그리기보다 뒷부분을 조금 튀어나오게 그리면 엉덩이를 그릴 때 좀 더 좋을 거예요.
Oh. Right, so he brings out the box a little bit to
자, 이번에도 앞쪽을 향한 다리의 모습.
help him draw the bot.
왼쪽 다리는 처음 그림처럼 그리고 오른쪽 다리는 무릎을 세운 모습입니다.
I completely missed what he said.
다리의 모습인데요. 왼쪽 다리는 처음 그림처럼 그리고 오른쪽 다리는 무릎을 세운 모습입니다.
Huh? Oh, it's gonna raise the leg.
이때 중요한 점은 무릎을 완전하게 그리기 전에 종아리를 먼저 그려놓은 다음 이때 중요한 점은 무릎을 완전하게 그리기 전에 종아리를 먼저 그려놓은 다음에 무릎과 이어주는 게 더 그리기 쉽습니다.
Interesting.
그래야지 종아리에 가려지는 허벅지 부분을 과감하게 가질 수 있기 때문입니다.
Very interesting. Yeah, just don't establish the knee until you have drawn the calf. That's a very good tip, because then because the knee changes shape so much, it's easier to do.
조금 길다란 네모로 그리는 편입니다.
Right. It's easier to do once you know where the calf's gonna be. Man, I really enjoy watching Chomang draw.
자, 다음 장. 어떤 종이를 쓰냐고 종종 물어보시는데요. 저는 그냥 A4 용지를 사용합니다. 자, 이번에는 살짝 아래면이 보이는 각도의 골반 박스입니다. 이때도 만약 다리가 앞쪽을 향하고 있다면 박스 앞면에 반원을 그리는데요. 지금은 그냥 서 있는 포즈라서 박스 아랫면에 원 2개를 그리고 시작합니다.
So when the character is standing, he draws the full circle. Is it because the thigh is not being squished anymore? Is that the reason?
허벅지가 조금 짧게 그려졌네요.
Right.
다리 근육을 좀 알고 계신 분들은 이런 식으로 근육에 따른 이런 흐름을 그려주시고요. 하지만 늘 말씀드리지만 해부학을 알면 당연히 도움이 되겠지만
Yeah.
해부학을 알아야지만 인체를 그릴 수 있는 건 아닙니다. 그거 이전에 입체적인 표현을 먼저 연습해 보시는 게 좋을 거예요.
I should get to that. But yeah, three-dimensional representation is the key to everything.
각도의 포즈인데 맨 처음 그린 것처럼 앉아 있는 포즈입니다. 이번에 표현하려고 한 건 내 눈높이가 엉덩이 부분이나 그보다 조금 아래에 있을 때 앉은 포즈인데요. 크게 다를 건 없네요. 반복해 본다고 생각하시고 같이 그려보세요.
What was that?
인데요. 앉아 있는 포즈입니다. 이번에 표현하려고 한 건 내 눈높이가
Sitting
엉덩이
pose.
부분이나 그보다 조금 아래에 있을 때 앉은 포즈인데요. 크게 다를 건 없네요.
Okay.
반복해 본다고 생각하시고 같이 그려보세요.
Is it raining? No. They're just moving some boxes outside. Right, so what he's doing there is drawing the same structure, but as if we were looking at it from a little bit of like a lower angle. Interesting. So you can see that he did more of the lower part of the box. Man, this is such a good method. I want to practice this one. This is like the one I think I'm gonna marry.
연필이 부러졌네요.
Oh, Ina just went live. He's got a notification for it.
버전 컴퓨터용 연필을 사용하고 있습니다. 미술 전용 연필은 아니고요. 한국에서 파는 일반적인 연필입니다.
Oh, he doesn't use drawing pencils? Interesting. Thought he used the Mitsubishi's.
언제나 몸의 중심선을 찾아서 그려보는 게 중요합니다.
Mm-hmm. Man, he has so much practice. Like, look at how loose he is, but he manages to be accurate.
이번에도 조금 다른 포즈.
Uh-huh.
오른쪽 다리는 그냥 서 있는 모습으로 다리가 아래쪽을 향해 있고요. 왼쪽 다리는 옆으로 살짝 든 모습입니다.
He's gonna...
앞쪽으로 향한 모습은 그릴 때 스스로가 어색하게 느낄 때가 많아서 꼭 등고선 모양으로 입체적인 모습을 스스로 확인해가면서 그려보시는 게 좋습니다.
Right, he draws those volume lines to help him visualize the shape. not quite seeing the pose yet. Maybe when he does the feet. Oh, okay, yeah, I kind of see it. Yeah, it's like having your... I think I'm gonna practice this box method quite a bit. Man, I've been yapping a lot today. I don't know why my throat feels a little bit number than other days.
자, 이런 식으로 골반 박스에 동그라미를 그려가면서 연습해 보시면 도움이 되실 거고요. 이번 포즈는 바닥에 앉아 그려가면서 연습해 보시면 도움이 되실 거고요. 이번 포즈는 바닥에 앉아 있는 모습인데 이럴 때 조금 헷갈려요. 골반 박스 윗면이 보여야 하는지 골반이 안쪽으로 이렇게 말려서 아래쪽이 보여야 하는지요. 물론 눈높이에 따라 또 다르긴 하겠죠. 저는 이번에 골반이
오케이.
왼쪽으로 말려서 허리랑 골반이 많이 휘어져 있어서 골반 아래쪽이 살짝 보인다는 느낌으로 그려봤습니다. 다리가 옆으로 벌어졌기 때문에 박스 앞면에 그린 반원을 옆으로 이동시켜서 그렸고요. 바닥에 철퍼덕 앉아있는 모습인 반원을 옆으로 이동시켜서 그렸고요. 바닥에 철퍼덕 앉아있는 모습인데 저도 사진을 보고 그리는 게 아니라서 부정확한 부분이 많이 있을 수 있습니다. 그래서
He's not drawing from reference. That's wild.
보는 게 필요합니다.
He has just memorized so many poses. Like he has that visual library. So cool. I love this artist.
이어서 사진 두 장을 참고해서 앉아있는 포즈를 그려볼 건데요.
Okay, so now he's gonna go for the reference.
설명 시간이었고 이제부터는 바로 실습해 보는 겁니다. 제니 님이네요.
Oh, it's Jenny from Blackpink.
한번 그려볼 건데요. 여러분들도 한번 그려보시면 좋을 것 같고요. 제가 어떤 순서로 어떤 과정으로 그리는지 한번 보시면서 그려보시면 초보자분들은 도움이 될 거라고 생각합니다. 이번 시간은 다리 부분을 그리는 거라서
Quite interesting.
간단하게만 그려볼
Like you
테니까
don't.
제니님 얼굴은 여러분들이 더 예쁘게 그려주시면 됩니다. 그러면 모두들 즐겁게 그림 그리고 또 너무 힘들지 않게 그림 공부하시길 바라고요. 저는 또 다음 시간에 올게요. 그럼 안녕.
So you're just gonna finish the whole drawing? Interesting. There's no more commentary. Getting a little bit late. Let me take another piss real quick, and then we'll go back, watch him finish this, and then we'll very quickly do like the breakdown. But out of everything I saw today, this is the best one. This is the best tutorial for me. Of course, I should preface that every time. Like, if you explore YouTube for 24 hours watching every single tutorial, every single person that does that is gonna find a tutorial that is adequate for them, for me, and what I like and the way I approach drawing. This video is the more appropriate. This is the one I enjoy the most, and the technique that I want to learn, even if I don't know it yet, or even if it's gonna be difficult. Because I think that it's gonna allow me to do the things that I want to do. Maybe you like more like the cutesy pose that we were watching a few tutorials ago. So that's what I mean. Let me go stop yapping for a second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Had to make a phone call. I have a personal emergency came out, but nothing really happened. It's fine. Right, let's keep watching. Still got 20 minutes to go, so I'll watch the remaining 10 minutes of this, and then I'll do like the breakdown of what I learned. Interesting. Yeah, so you see how he established like his construction mannequin, and then he's gonna... He did a quick pass with the eraser, and then he adds detail. Watch how he draws the eyes, like, after doing like that skull shape, he finds the eyes so easily. Alright. Huh. Would have done the neck a little bit narrower, but I think that I just tend to do that unconsciously. Right, so he's gonna start... Ooh, nice. That's a very nice way to establish the pectoral muscle. I would have struggled with that. You want him to do the eyes. I always find it fascinating how he does it. Right? Oh, he didn't like that. Wonder why. Right? One... 1, 2. Okay. Center line of the body, important. Okay. So he's giving it a little bit more volume. Alright. Secondly... Oh, he's gonna throw the short right away? I feel like he was gonna go further. Well, the jacket makes it a little bit more challenging to see what's going on, but... This is like his bread and butter. This is what he does. Oh, I don't like this angle that much. That's fine. Sorry about the noise behind me. There's... I'm like right next to the street, so... Is he gonna do the jacket? I don't think so. I don't think he will. No. Oh shit, I just knocked the mic. Sorry. He almost makes it seem easy how he constructs the entire pose. Right, like his eyes are so effective. Right, it's just a couple, just like 2 lines and the iris, and it works perfectly. Okay, so he's gonna change now. I guess we can watch this. What is he doing here? Establish a little bit of a ribcage there. I have this bad habit of always starting with the head, and it leads... It causes me issues because I often run out of space. I should learn from him, like, to start with a more important landmark in the body. Man, I'm a bit excited. Like, I want to learn this box method, because I know that we saw it on the tutorial before this one, but this one seems more structured, like a little bit more control. It's not like, oh yeah, draw a box and then connect these two. More like, you know, there's a method to this. Maybe I can go back to that pose I struggled with the ballerina, and see if this, after watching this video, can do a better job. Right. He doesn't concern himself with like a super complicated construction of the head. Like you can see, he basically just established the surface area of what it's gonna be, but he hasn't like added volume to it. I would have drawn that shoulder a little bit wider, and the back shoulder I would have drawn like a little bit higher. Back shoulder, the shoulder further away from us, I would have drawn like a little bit higher. But I guess let's wait and see what he does. I think that I feel a little bit bad about this kind of stream, because it's just like watching other people's content. I think that I'm gonna limit this type of stream to just once a week. Tomorrow I'm not gonna do this, I'm gonna go back to studying. I guess tomorrow we could draw poses from pictures, like he's doing now, but on our own. And just, I think that tomorrow I'm just gonna practice this particular method like a lot, and then try to draw my own poses like the way he's doing now. One eye, two eyes. So you're gonna draw the other cheekbone? I wonder. So you're gonna get the shoulder higher with the cardigan. Not quite. No, he's not. Oh, a little bit of folds there. That's nice. You see what I mean about his lines? Like, he doesn't go over his lines. He just goes for it. It's super confident. Even if the resulting line is not perfect, he knows that he can work with whatever comes out. Really like that. Really like that. Of course he like erases and stuff, but very confident in his line work. Oh god, I'm getting sleepy. Sorry about that. Anyway, I always end the stream at 10 PM because I need to get ready for sleep, because I wake up at 4 AM to go to the gym. So that's why I have like a very tight schedule. I guess if we do Saturday streams, I can go a little bit later, like from Saturday to Sunday. Sunday, I don't think I'll do streams because Sunday will be my editing day. Because I want to I want to make like some actual videos. Yes. Just gonna keep adding detail now. I think we can stop here. Even I would love to keep watching, but I only have 10 minutes left. So what I'm gonna do now is try to what I'm saying. I tried to put into practice what he just showed us, right? Let me do that. Sorry, I'm just moving the... Oh! Okay. Put that there. And let me very quickly try to... like... do what he did. So, in general, I think that it was more of a... Let me turn off the closed caption so that I can see the... All right, let's start here. So he does the let me go back to my... He does the box, right? Like the box method that we have been seeing around quite a bit. I'm seeing that I think some artists do like the box with a little bit of like this shape so that it can be wider on some areas, but I don't think he does that. I think that he's quite reserved or like restrained with the shape of the box. Right. And then he just does this. Right? And from here it's this, right? I think that he does more like that. I'm very, very quick because I need to go to sleep soon. Right, so I'm not like dying tomorrow. But yeah, I remember what he said about not establishing the knee until we have established the calf. I really like how he draws the legs. It's like simple but effective. Right. Okay. It's not quite right. I think that I fumbled a little bit, but let's just keep going. Let's just be confident and go for it. Right, so that's pretty bad, but that's the concept is right. The drawing is terrible. Let's do what he did for the open legs one, which was like that. Right, don't judge my perspective. Right, and then he established the knee first so that he could go for a little bit of foreshortening, and then this one he went quite a lot like longer with it. Guess we can do a little bit more volume so that it's not quite like this. It was more like Oh, right. Another tip of his is to draw the... so that we don't get so lost on the shape of the kneecap. He just does a... like that. Just does that kind of shape. Alright. I think that this is the method that I'm gonna go with. It's the one that gives me like the tools that I want for the future. For what my art goals are. Quite like it. How he right. Did he draw the feet here? This is a B shape and this is an S shape? Is that what he was saying at this point? Oh no, this is the F shape. Like goes like that and then like that. S. And this is the B shape. I don't know what I don't quite grasp that concept yet. Like I can see it when I see it like represented or pointed out. But I don't think that I could like fully understand it until I have it explained to me. Alright. I have 3 minutes. Gonna clean this up a little bit so I can upload like something to Instagram. Right. Okay. So I'm running out of time. I should be a little bit more patient with this. But yeah, definitely gonna go with Chomang's what should we say? Method. Like I really want to learn a lot from him. And yeah, I'll probably subscribe to his membership or yes, to his membership at some point. But I think that's all for today. I appreciate everyone that showed up. John and Manu, thanks a lot for showing up. Tomorrow we're gonna... I think I'm gonna practice this method the same way that Chomang did. Just grab pictures and try to apply it. And we'll do like full body constructions tomorrow. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much. And I need to come up with a catchphrase to say goodbye. Adios. That's no. Bye.